In NASCAR, greatness is often measured by wins, championships, and moments captured at over 200 miles per hour, but some legacies are defined far beyond the racetrack. Greg Biffle's name is etched into NASCAR history, a champion across multiple series, a driver known for tough determination and unshakable will to compete. For years, fans watched him battle wheel to wheel with some of the best in the sport, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, while receiving respect along the way. Growing up, I wasn't a huge Greg Biffle fan, but one thing always stuck out to me, how loyal his supporters were. There was even people in NASCAR who supported him week in and week out.
Now, Hermie, for my pick, I need the help from the fans here at the stage. Please repeat after me. Stick with the Biff. Stick with the Biff. Stick with the Biff. Stick with the Biff. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Biff, 16. Gonna win the thing. And that's all I had to say. Wendy?
Greg Biffle was definitely one of the NASCAR drivers that shined in certain tracks. Greg Biffle shined at superspeedways and mile-and-a-halves. That was his bread and butter. I can guarantee you, even if you ask five-time champion at the time, Jimmy Johnson, who was the most fierce competitor on those types of tracks, he would say the number 16 car. It was in 2003 at Daytona for the Daytona night race in the summer where Greg Biffle stretched his field to pick up his first victory in the NASCAR Cup Series. This moment was huge for Biffle. It wasn't just because it was his first ever win in the Cup Series, it was because it was at Daytona.
It's definitely out of fuel. Now Biffle can try and breathe it and make sure he has enough because it's a long way back to Jeff Burton, 3 seconds. What an upset this is going to be. Final corner for Greg Biffle. There'll be a celebration in the Pacific Northwest tonight. There's his girlfriend Nicole. For Jack Roush, Greg Biffle is going to score a win at Daytona in just his 23rd NASCAR Winston Cup start. Greg Biffle wins the Pepsi 400.
And Roush comes 1-2, and Ricky Rudd comes in third, another car close with close Jack Roush ties. All right, guys, congratulations to you.
And you'll probably recognize this voice.
Hey, Biffle, good job.
Thanks, BP. Hi all to you, buddy.
Man, it's been a long time since Tucson, Arizona, hasn't it?
Man, it has, and without your help, getting me hooked up with Jack Roush and everybody out in Tucson, all my buddies, John Sewell and John Baker, everybody's helped me out in Tucson get here tonight. Means a lot to me.
I told Jack Roush 5 or 6 years ago you could get the job done. I wondered, but you finally have proven me right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was just a pit call by Randy Goss tonight and the team, and that last minute I drove down pit road to get that extra bit of fuel. That was kind of my decision, his decision, and it really worked out for us tonight. Didn't work out last week, but it paid off tonight.
Okay, you owe me a big dinner, all right?
Hey, you bet, BP.
Greg Biffle, congratulations on your first Winston Cup win. Enjoy it. Greg Biffle in victory lane, his first Winston Cup win.
This would be lightning in a bottle for Greg Biffle as he would kickstart off his NASCAR career winning at the big tracks. His next career win came at Michigan in 2004, and this win definitely started to solidify and etch his name into some of the greatest drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. In the closing laps of the 2004 season, Biffle looked to ride off into the sunset, picking up his first ever win at Homestead. But what many of us didn't know was this was going to be the determining factor in Biffle's career at mile-and-a-halves. This wasn't the first of many. It was the first of history, as Greg Biffle would go back to back to back at Homestead picking up wins in the final race of the season, and even one of them being a photo finish.
Checkered flag is up. Greg Biffle wins the Ford 400 at the Homestead Miami Speedway.
And what a terrific pass at the end. And a lot of water being thrown his way, as well as water bottles. And a lot of confetti in the sky. Tell me about the pass on Tony Stewart and the contact with Jeff Gordon.
Well, I just, man, I almost hit Tony there. He must have ran out of gas on the restart, and, you know, it's been a long year, and I'm going to miss a good friend of mine, Randy Dorton, and I want to dedicate this win to him and all those guys. Congratulations to Kurt and these 16 team, and me as a driver, we got something to prove next year, and man, it's just really good, and the soldiers, man, they've just done so much for our country, and we think about them all the time, and General Schultz here this weekend, and everybody. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, and just exciting. Good day for Roush Racing, and man, I wish my family and everybody could be here with me.
A high five from Matt Kenseth, and to present the Ford 400 trophy, Edsel Ford.
Congratulations, what a race. Most deserving. Congratulations on winning the Ford 400 this weekend. You did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And he said he kept his eye out for his teammate as long as he could, but at the end, I had to win the race.
Goes to the bottom, picking up the throttle. Got a pretty good run. He's there, right beside him.
Last lap of the season. Teammates Mark Martin and Greg Biffle fighting for the lead while Tony Stewart tries to hang on to his position to clinch the championship.
Oh, this is going to be good off of 2.
This has been Biffle's sweet spot off the second corner.
Mark's there.
He's there.
And I think Mark's been better in 4.
Looks that way.
See if he can hold up. Boy, Biffle drove in deep.
Will it stick?
Oh, he's sliding up the track.
Out of 4, they come to the line.
Wow.
Greg Biffle wins the race. Watching for Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart is the 2005 NASCAR Nextel Cup Series champion.
And Greg Biffle, the first thing he asked, are we second in NASCAR Nextel Cup?
Lines on you, too.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you what, racing Mark Martin like that, veteran guy, you know, we're gonna miss Rusty Wallace and Ricky Rudd in this series. I'll tell you what, they're 2 icons, and John Reiser, you know, Robbie lost John this week, but so excited to have National Guard posted, 3M, everybody on board all year. These guys just a great job. This car just wasn't what it needed to be in all night, and really worked out. Congratulations, 20 team. You know, they were troopers all year, and I don't know if it would have come down to that loose wheel at Texas or not, but it was going to be awful close.
You knew you had to win and lead laps to get the championship tonight, Greg. How proud are you that your team was able to do that?
Oh, man, I mean, unbelievable. I'm just so proud of the whole organization. These motors that, you know, Yates Roush build, I mean, the engine department is unbelievable and just fantastic. Just excited to go spend some time on my new lures boat. I just can't wait.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Coming to the finish line. Greg Biffle goes 3 in a row at Homestead. Colts of NASCAR, the team you expect to win it every year. This is finally their year. Greg Biffle's had a tough year, but he's got his 2nd win of the season. He's in victory lane with Marty Snyder.
Well, Bill, it took 6 months. It's been since May at Darlington that Greg Biffle was in victory lane, but I have a feeling that this was well worth the wait. A deserved shower from his race team that continues, along with some confetti. Been a long time, hasn't it?
It has been. I'll tell you what, that Ford Fusion was something else this weekend. You know, I just want to thank all the National Guard soldiers. You know, this wins for those guys, and we really love them. We're going to miss them next year, and just want to say hi to my dad. He's sick right now and can't be here right now, but thinking of you, and this wins for you too.
I know Phoenix was hard for you because that's where your dad got sick, but let's talk about this emotional win and walk me through those last 2 restarts. The first one where you took the lead, and the second one where you had to hold off the 9 and the 1 car.
I know it. I'll tell you what, I was nervous as can be. You know, I was just scared that, you know, that I wasn't going to be able to hold those guys off. But man, this Ford Fusion race car is just so awesome, and Doug and everybody just did a great job on it. But I was nervous. You know, I was really nervous about the 1. He was getting a good start. He was laying back on me, and you know, I'm pretty excited to be able to hold him off.
No better way to end your career with Doug Richard either, a win, and you guys had so much success together.
Yeah, we did. You know, I love Doug, and we're good friends, and you know, we just didn't hit it off like we needed to this year, and you know, we're hoping to bring good things with Pat next year, and Doug will find a home here in Roush. You know, he's a good guy, and he's going to be crew chief on another championship team.
Greg Biffle did have a little controversy in his career. In 2007 at Kansas, he crossed the line as the leader on the last lap when NASCAR had shortened the race distance because of darkness. So all Greg Biffle had to do was basically make it around another lap, take the checkered flag, and he would win the race. But one thing Greg Biffle didn't do is maintain his speed. He actually lost positions on the racetrack, but NASCAR still gave the win to him because I think they were tired of all the scoring problems and they were ready to go home. But Greg Biffle picked up a win at Kansas in 2007 in controversial fashion.
I'm gonna pull my seatbelts tight.
Pull it down. I'll put a helmet on. What are you gonna do, Jerry?
How many times do you think Clint Boyer went to bed at night dreaming of someday being in the big race here in the state of Kansas with national television and having a shot to win it with 1 lap to go? Well, due to the darkness, they're saying they are not going to restart this race because of the darkness on the racetrack here, and it is going to finish as promised on lap 210. That's why you see these guys down there in the Roush Fenway pits celebrating.
Everything looks very dark looking from a driver's perspective, so congratulations to Greg Biffle, huh?
Looks like the Aflac Duck's gonna get a checker here.
Greg Biffle, 37-year-old driver, had gone 28 races. His last win was at Homestead at the end of finale of 2006.
Flag, buddy, right there. Checkered flag.
And Biffle takes the win at Kansas Speedway in what was an unbelievably long day, but he doesn't care. Right now, he is a winner in 2007.
Greg Biffle may have never been a driver to really contend for a championship past 2005, but what you could guarantee on from that number 16 car is he was going to win. He was going to win a handful of races each year. Greg Biffle had some outstanding wins in his career over the next 5 to 6 years. Biffle would pick up wins at Texas, Dover, and one of his favorite tracks, Michigan. But one of the highlighting moments in his career that I think most people forget about is this insane wreck avoidance at Talladega in 2012. Greg Biffle was almost caught up in this massive accident, and if you follow the pink number 16 car, you're going to see how great of a driver he was, especially at avoiding accidents.
Mears in the 13, Stewart in the 14.
You can see Tony just a little bit late in making that move to get back down. Harvick and Kenseth on the outside had a run, so they were literally going to go by him on both sides.
Watch the 2. The championship leader somehow avoided getting really torn up in that.
See, it looked like Martin Truex was going to get through there. Bobby Labonte caught him right at the end.
2013 would be the start of the decline for Greg Biffle's Cup Series career, as he would pick up his final win in the NASCAR Cup Series at one of his favorite tracks, Michigan.
The cat in the hat feeling good. 12 times he has won here at Michigan.
You know that was a big relief when he heard that over the radio. It's like, okay, I can breathe now. I got 3 laps. I can breathe.
A runner-up last week at Pocono. No doubt. Greg Biffle's team going in the right direction. How about his 4th win at Michigan? It comes today. Congratulations to the 16.
Right on, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. Way to go, guys. Way to go. Way to stay with it. Runner with the 48 track is trying to catch me. Love it. Keep digging.
A huge one today, Greg Biffle, the 1,000th win for Ford, but what was a bigger concern? The temperatures, little Emma coming in, the temperatures or the 48 closing in?
You know, it was both, temperatures and the 48. We knew the 48 was really fast. And, you know, I want to say happy Father's Day to my father's out there watching, hopefully, and mom and brother. More importantly, happy Father's Day to little Charlie. We're thinking about you. And Emma's first victory lane on Father's Day. I can't be more proud. And 1,000 wins for Ford. Pretty exciting in NASCAR. And to get the 3 and Ford Fusion American Dental, you know, give kids a smile. Hopefully we gave some kids a smile this weekend. But I was really worried about that 48. You know, he'd been pretty fast, but when this thing got in clean air, it was all over.
A lot of smiles by a lot of kids all over from your performance, not only this week, but last week. It seems like this team has really turned the corner.
Yeah, it really has. It's all hard work from these guys, and everybody's working really hard. And, you know, we still got a little bit to do on our cars when we're back in traffic, but once we get out front, like Pocono last week, we think we're pretty good. We just need to work on our cars a little bit. And, boy, it's not for a lack of effort. I'm sure excited. You know, Valvoline and Sprint, thank the fans, Coke, everybody. This is really exciting for me.
Second last week at Pocono, a win this week at Michigan. And Marty, he's got already an entry into the 2014 Sprint All-Star race.
Greg, what happened?
I tore my rear bumper cover off. You know, I had to come in and had to go to the tail end of the longest line. And, you know, he said it's obviously he didn't do it on purpose, but he ran into the back of my car and tore the thing off. I have to look back and see what happened, but, you know, we drove all the way back to 10th from the back of the pack. And we were one of the only cars that could do that, and just frustrates me how good my car finally was at Martinsville. And, you know, we have to come out of here 10th, you know, driving from the back all the way on the last run of the day. So that was pretty frustrating. We passed a lot of guys, you know, to get there, but it was a good run.
What'd you tell him when you first went to him?
I told him I wasn't very happy with that. And, you know, he knows I wasn't very happy out there racing on the racetrack, but that's the way it goes.
During the 2013 Chase race at Martinsville, Greg Biffle was upset at Jimmy Johnson how he raced him. And Jimmy Johnson, a driver who doesn't like to get in any confrontations, wasn't wanting to fight Biffle, but he was pretty upset. He was trying to calm Biffle down and tell a NASCAR official that he didn't want an altercation, he just wanted to talk. Biffle basically wanted to say some words and leave. But I understand where Biffle's coming from. Jimmy Johnson's always a clean and respectful race car driver. And when you're raced dirty or wrongly by him, you would probably be upset too. After 2013, Greg Biffle would never win again in the NASCAR Cup Series. His final full-time season was in 2016, and after that, he would go on a hiatus from racing in NASCAR. But in 2019, he wanted to come back, and he wanted to come back in a big way, racing for Kyle Busch Motorsports in the NASCAR Truck Series. And you won't believe what he did.
Looks like he's still under power off of turn 2.
It's been 6,434 days since Greg Biffle last won a truck race. It was in Phoenix in 2001. But on this one-off, it is a night to remember. Greg Biffle wins at Texas.
And by the way, collecting an additional $50,000.
And by the way, the talks about him going to Gateway and Iowa, they have to be picking up right now. Kyle Busch, what are you thinking? We got to get him a truck, Kyle. We got to get him a truck to go to Iowa.
And even after that amazing 2019 finish at Texas Motor Speedway to cap off his Truck Series career, Greg Biffle said, "I'm not done just yet." And he did something that nobody thought he could. He came back to run the Daytona 500, and he made it into the Great American Race and raced the number 44 car that year. When Hurricane Helene devastated communities across North Carolina where NASCAR's based, Greg Biffle didn't just watch from the sidelines. He used what he could to help others. Using his personal-owned helicopter, Biffle flew across areas that were cut off by flooding and destroyed roads, rescuing stranded families, delivering crucial supplies to those who were in need or who couldn't get assistance.
For me, it's people helping people. Our motto in this country is, we don't leave an American behind. And I had the opportunity in front of me to help more people and bring awareness, and it kind of snowballed.
NASCAR legend Greg Biffle, who also has 20 years experience as a helicopter pilot, says he first felt called into action when he got word of a family stuck in a vacation rental with supplies dwindling and no way out.
I was at my shop Saturday morning doing a few things, and a friend of mine sent me a text, "Hey, do you want to go fly today?" And a link to a Facebook message with a family that was stuck up in Banner Elk in an Airbnb. And before that moment, I had no idea. I knew some people were without power. The storm came through. We had a little bit of damage here, some tree branches down and whatnot. But I absolutely had no idea, and I don't think the rest of the world did, on how devastating this storm was.
And that was just the beginning of his helicopter relief missions, the first of more than 30 he estimates so far.
From sunrise to sunset, Biffle answered the call when others wouldn't. He helped desperate people, and that just showed how great of a person Greg Biffle was. Greg Biffle will forever be remembered by a NASCAR legend, but his legacy will stand the test of time of being more than just a race car driver. He was a hero.